According to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, approximately 37 people die in an accident resulting from drunk driving every day in the United States. Getting a DUI or being charged with driving under the influence is a very serious offense. Let's break down the laws and penalties so that you can navigate the system if you're facing DUI penalties. A DUI is defined as driving or operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or a combination of the two. North Dakota DUI laws are listed under the state's Century Code 39-08-01. In this state, drivers over the age of 21 with a blood alcohol content of 0.08% can be charged with the DUI. For drivers under the age of 21, it's 0.02%, and the limit is 0.04% or higher for commercial drivers. If a law enforcement official finds that you can no longer operate a vehicle safely and you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you can receive DUI charges. This applies even if you were tested and your BAC is under the listed legal limit. DUI penalties in North Dakota vary, and the penalties typically increase if you've had a prior DUI conviction on your record. For first-time offenders, the penalty is up to 30 days in jail, fines of $500 to $1,500, and your license will be suspended for 91 days. If it's your second offense, you could spend 10 to 30 days in jail, pay a $1,500 fine, and have your license suspended for 1 year. Third-time offenders face between 120 and 360 days in jail and a $2,000 to $3,000 fine, as well as a 360-day suspension of their license. For fourth-time offenders, the jail time is a minimum of 360 days, and the fine is a minimum of $2,000 with at least 360-day license suspension. Whether it's your first time or your third time, all DUI offenders must complete an additional treatment program evaluation in North Dakota. They must also follow all of the recommended treatments, including random testing and taking part in 24/7 sobriety programs. While these penalties are to serve as a guideline, it's important to remember that each case is different. If you had a minor in the vehicle at the time of the infraction, or you had a BAC over 0.18, you may face even more severe penalties. An important component of the laws for DUIs in North Dakota is the state's implied consent law. So what does the term implied consent mean? If an officer suspects that you're under the influence and asks you to take a breathalyzer test, you may say yes or no. However, if you refuse to take the test, the officer can arrest you immediately. In North Dakota, if you get behind the wheel, you're automatically agreeing to submit to a test to determine your BAC if an officer suspects that you're driving under the influence. There are also automatic fines and other penalties in North Dakota for refusing to take a breathalyzer test. These may include license suspension and mandatory jail time upon your refusal. The automatic penalties are in addition to whatever penalties you face if you're charged separately with a DUI. Once you're arrested for a DUI in North Dakota, you must deal with two different issues. First, the criminal act of DUI is addressed in court and includes the penalties regarding fines and possible jail time. Next, you'll need to deal with the administrative penalty, which applies to your suspended license. This goes through the North Dakota Department of Transportation, which deals with suspensions and revocations of driver's licenses. If you want to fight your license suspension, you must ask for a hearing within 10 days after you were arrested. To fight the criminal charges, you'll need to enlist the help of an experienced attorney who can help you in court. Once your license suspension period is ended, you can pay $100 to have it reinstated. However, if the license was revoked, you will need to go through some extra processes and procedures to get it back. In some cases, you may be allowed to get a temporary work permit or a temporary restricted license. With this, you can drive to and from work, but this usually depends on your record. You may wonder how long getting charged with a DUI will impact your driving record. North Dakota has a look-back period which is used in DUI cases to consider any prior offenses for sentencing. This look-back period is set at 7 years for the first 3 DUI offenses. It is designed to deter people from repeated DUIs by increasing the penalty after each subsequent offense. However, if you're dealing with a 4th or higher subsequent DUI charge, the look-back period is unlimited. This means that any of your past DUI convictions will influence how you are sentenced for any new DUIs moving forward. It also means that the charges will likely impact your driving record indefinitely. The penalties for DUI mentioned before don't include other scenarios. For example, if you get a DUI with a minor in the vehicle, the penalty is up to 1 year in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. If you refuse to submit to a chemical test, it's considered a crime in North Dakota. This could result in the revocation of your driver's license for 180 days to as long as 3 years. Criminal vehicular injury will result in up to 5 years in jail, And if the charge is a felony offense like criminal vehicular or homicide, you could receive up to 20 years in jail. Once you know the North Dakota DUI laws, you'll be better prepared to drive safely and navigate court proceedings. If you're facing a charge, it's important to consult with an experienced attorney right away. If you're facing DUI penalties and charges, don't leave your future to chance. Contact Heartland Law Office today.